Hello, Mr. Lawrence. Thank you very much.
Please go ahead. Welcome.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, we can hear you. Please go
I'm
ahead.
very grateful. Yes. First of all, I want to thank the first presentation by Mr. Ellis, and then the one from Mr. Robert. You know, I'm very inspired when I heard the first speaker that stayed in the United States. You know, thank God when he was making his presentation, he said something that really struck me. He said to develop African.com, you know, given the topic, it's not the government, it's going to be the private sector. And that is where I want to align my question on. Now, but then we still need the government platform for the private sector to function. So my question is, how is the private sector going to be able to liaise with government to put a strong technological platform that will enhance entrepreneurship in the technological age that we are right now? Because like you rightly mentioned, Africa is lagging behind. And that is because we don't have the proper framework, a proper platform to shoot this technology to the height that will encourage entrepreneurship. So how is it going to be possible? What about the people in the rural areas? Even people in town, we can even access our internet properly. We cannot even host our website properly. One day it's up, the next day is down. How can this be properly be made steady so that entrepreneurship can flourish in Africa in this technology age? Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Uzochi, for that. We will take one more question from Akinade Owode, and after that, we will revert back to Mr. Bob and possibly Mr. Eli for final words, saying that we just have about 6 more minutes before we for this session. Is Akinade ready with a question? So that we can take the two questions, the answers to the two questions together. Please go ahead.
I want to say a big thank you to Microboss for this platform, and a big thanks to the presenters too. Okay, I want to just know what is needed for one to start as an entrepreneur in this industry, which well, I see is growing with opportunities. I want to know if what is needed really. What are those things one needs to put in place to become a player in the industry? That's just as simple as it is from me. Thank you.
Thank you. Beautiful question. Bob, over to you, and then we'll have Mr. Eli if he has some further contributions before we close.
Thank you very much, Lawrence. And I will have to drop off in exactly 4 minutes. I'll try to do my rejoinder in 2 minutes, and I'll be happy to, connect later on email and other platforms. Of course, we have our contacts. So the two questions, roughly from my end, and I'm sure Edley will do a rider as well. How can government help? First of all, government is the biggest customer, in my view, in any economy. Ask yourself to what extent is the government consuming .ng to start with, the .ke for my case in Kenya. Most of the time, if a government official, a public servant gives you a business card, it might have a .ng if it is Nigeria email address, but they'll tell you, if you want to write to me, use this other one. You will find something at the back of that card that is something different. How that is allowed or how that one is perpetuated, I don't know. Today, if I work for Microboss, I will have an email address for Microboss. Why is government officials allowed not to have, official government email addresses as the only channel of communication? Question mark there. So leading by example. If that happened and their systems don't work, because sometimes they say, oh, my government email doesn't work, make it work. Why is it not working? Even as much as we insist that we should buy Africa, that doesn't mean that we should settle for mediocrity. These services that we feel, are superior today is because, there are people, their economies stuck with them when they were crude, and use the feedback, bought them regardless, but gave feedback that, by the way, next time I want to see 1, 2, 3 improved. Next time I want to see 4, 5, 6 improved. But they kept buying. For us in Africa, if you go to a .ng and you find maybe the mobile payment function doesn't work, Africa domain names don't work, you buy a .com. I think we are a little bit very, very, very selfish to Africa. And what would it take for us to leapfrog? It all depends on us. You know, it is actually in our hands. Let us buy, but let's not settle for mediocre. African doesn't mean it has to be poor quality. It doesn't mean that it is half of the time offline. No, it insists that they do their job. But as long as you keep paying, because there's nothing for free. So I think it goes both ways. And I am very, very sure if we did that, there'll be, you know, resources to invest in R&D for improvements. And over time, Africa will be where we want it to be in terms of efficiency and all these other services. Unfortunately, because of time constraints, I wouldn't be able to go over everything I'd listed. But I want to thank you very much for having me, and I'll be happy to, you know, respond, you know, later on email to any specifics, be it ICANN, be it industry specific, and probably join a different webinar later in future if an opportunity arises. Thank you very much, Lawrence, once more for having me. I really appreciate it.